So this is a different kind of video, seeing as I just got back from the gym and I'm sure I look like a mess, but lucky you, that means you get to look at the wonderful Oblivion in the background instead of my goofy face. Anyway, while I was there, I was thinking a lot about how I'm going to move forward with this presentation I have to do for the job interview. I've never had to give a presentation for an interview. It's strange to me. And to be honest, I don't really understand the point of it. I mean, I understand what he's asking for, but the point of the presentation is to explain how we're going to design multiplayer systems for the game and what software we're going to use, how it's going to work, that kind of stuff. Like, how's it going to work with different companies. But at the same time, I'm a developer. I can tell you how to code it, and I can tell you how my code is going to look, but how much it's going to cost, how am I supposed to know unless I build a prototype? But building a prototype is not part of the interview. The document he sent me even says that he didn't expect me to show how the code is going to look. But to be honest, the code is 90% of the work. Structuring it out is like 5%. I could structure things in my sleep. It's just a matter of putting code in to actually make it function. There's a lot of things you can't even account for until you start designing the systems. I mean, the list of things he wants the game to do is pretty straightforward from a game design perspective. It's supposed to be able to do PvP with matches from 1-on-1 all the way up to 10-person free-for-all. And that's pretty easy. The hard part of that is designing the combat. It's not even designing the multiplayer part. That's all just replication. That should be nothing. He also wants matchmaking, but, I mean, of course, that's pretty self-explanatory with a multiplayer game. There's a multitude of ways you could do that, of course. Everything from online services like Microsoft or Amazon, to multiplayer matchmaking using a P2P kind of thing, kind of like how older games used.
Greetings to you.
What's going on with you?
I heard people saying they ran into goblins around here not long ago. I can't stand those things.
Horrible things. I hear that the High Elves train them. I can't imagine it.
Be seeing you.
He wants
You want
leaderboards,
something from me?
but again, that's super simple. That's just player IDs linked to a number. Or we could use a service like what Microsoft has to handle that. But building it in-house would not be that difficult. Maybe I'm overthinking this, I don't know. The most difficult thing, I'm pretty sure, is going to be microtransactions. Which leads me to believe we're going to need to use something like Microsoft as a backbone because they have something built in where you can even set up digital currencies. Everything else is just about player accounts. Like, players need to have their own account with an email address so they can add friends and block people. All that's relatively simple. And none of it really seems to address the actual issues of designing a game. But maybe I am overthinking this. I've designed dozens of systems. Maybe I'm just thinking too far ahead. The only thing that I can think of that's going to be a significant issue would be the anti-cheat software, because those have a significant performance overhead. Maybe this all just seems so stressful to me because, for the first time in all of my game design stuff, I'm not in charge, and that feels really strange, because I don't know what's going on in this guy's head. All this, so far, honestly, just seems very disjointed, and quite frankly, poorly thought out. Which sounds insulting, but it really shouldn't. I just don't know how his line of thinking is. I do have a multiplayer prototype working, and it's teaching me a lot about the multiplayer aspects of game design, which is important seeing as everything I've done in the past has been single player. I have until the 18th to complete this presentation, but I hope I can get my prototype done before then because I feel like that's going to help so much more than anything I could ever say in a presentation. But maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, I guess we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. Comment if you have any ideas or insight or anything. Maybe go back and watch some of my VR project design stuff. I'm really proud of that so far. I'll see you tomorrow.
Who? Why? Are you... What time is it?